Unit Arena has just announced their nationals, and I'm here to get you prepared for that event. So I'm going to be showing off a different deck profiles, at least either twice or once a week. Just going to go over some decks that I personally feel that you should either be practicing against or decks that you feel maybe you want to try out. What I'm going to show off first is definitely a deck that I feel like it's not talked about enough, that I feel like would do really, really good in nationals and even in your rare battles, and that is Green Saitama. So let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. So, of course, we do have the 3 action points, of course. Just got to have it. That's how you play the game. So we're starting off with, which is actually weird for me, but is 4 copies of Stinger. So Stinger is the 0 cost. You rest it, and you give you make this have 2 energy. I do like this card in the decks over the 1 cost that puts a card back in your hand and then gets 2. I feel like being able to tap this, get 2, play 1, go to 3, and then start playing your 3 energy cost cards on your second turn is phenomenal. So again, I run this at 4 copies. The next up, we do have 4 copies of Genos. This is a draw the card, place one card from your hand into the sideline. And if you don't know what Saitama does, basically it is for each card in your sideline, it reduces its cost. So having cards like Genos to be able to filter through, and also having that trigger to draw a card when it is hit into my life works out very well for keep a good consistency. Then we're running 4 copies of Zero Cost King. As Zero Cost King, it has effect is you pay 1 AP. Once per turn, you can draw a card. So again, 4, and then also this is a raid target as well. So again, our 0 cost for this deck, we are running only 12. I feel like 12 is perfectly fine for this deck. If you want to go ahead and go to 13, you can put things like Starry Flash in here as well. But for me in this deck profile, 12 is working perfectly. And next up, we have 4 copies of 1 Cost King. This one allows you to look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You can add in a king to your hand or a card that costs 6 or more, which we do have some nice targets for this. So again, this allows us to basically get our pieces early on, and as well as it has that effect that if you add a card to your hand, your sideline, which again is helping out our Saitama to get online as quick as possible. And then we have 4 copies of Raid King. This to me is the key card that a lot of people are sleeping on. So what King does, it is a raid target does go onto a King. And what you do is when played, you draw a card. Then you place 1 Saitama card from your hand into your sideline. And if you do, you basically sideline one of your opponent's characters on their front line. And then also, it has activate main if on the front line, switch to resting. And place 3 cards, tap your deck into your sideline. Again, I like to sometimes play this card on in my energy, so I can go ahead and get that first proc skill, because the biggest thing about this card, it cannot attack or block. So having multiples of this up on your front line can make it where your opponent is guaranteed to get damage in, because they can go, okay, cool, this card can't block, so I'm guaranteed at least 1 or 2 damage. And as well, if it is on your front line, it does generate the 2 energy. So again, I like to keep this on my energy line, play it to pop a card, and then when I'm ready to play out the Saitama, I can move it forward. Next up, we run probably the best card in the entire deck, which is 4 copies of Genos. Genos is a 3 cost 2, and this is why, again, I like playing the Stinger in here, because I want to get these Genoses out on the field as soon as possible and start getting these on my energy line. The reason why I want these on my energy line is during my turn, it reduces the cost of Saitamas in my hand by 1. So again, it is reducing cards from cards being in your sideline, as well as reducing it with Genos. So again, it just making them just getting a lot more cheaper to play. Again, I like to be able to accelerate these ones, or be able to accelerate into King to deal with any kind of heavy rush decks to get them out as quick as possible. Next up, we run one of my tech cards in here, which is 4 copies of Silver Fang. And then Silver Fang's effect is, one per turn, your hero cards can't be if they're ever targeted by an event card or a character ability, your opponent must discard a card from their hand to be able to activate that ability. And again, I feel like Silver Fang works really, really well, just kind of protecting my board early on, so things are not getting destroyed as quick as possible. Again, I like to have this, and then again, especially just protects against finals, and now they are forced to discard a card. Then we only have 3 copies of 6 cost Silver Fang, and that's because we do have a lot of high powered cards in here, and I don't want to get bogged down with a lot of these. But again, this one is when played, look at the top card of your deck, and you may put it on top of the deck or sideline it. And it also had the same effect when it's attacking and blocking. And then 45 on the body is very, very nice, especially for early game. Then also it is a color. So play one character with 2 or less. Again, I don't have a lot of 2 or less in here. So that's why I say, again, I run it at 3 because I'm not really proccing that color trigger. Next up, we do have 4 copies of Terrible Tornado. Terrible Tornado is a 7 cost. I am running this at max copies. And this is because I am pitching cards a lot with King, like Saitama cards, to be able to pop a card when I'm playing it. And then also I am milling a lot or discarding cards very early, like the Saitamas, because I don't need them. So again, playing Terrible Tornado, I can play it onto my energy line if I don't have the Genos out yet. And this allows me to return a green card to my hand. Well, again, it's very, very awesome. So again, if you have a 0 cost King, you can then go ahead and play out the Terrible Tornado, bring a rated King that's probably defeated, play it, discard a Saitama, what you got off the Terrible Tornado, pop another card. Again, this one just allows me to keep things live. And I mainly use this card to grab those Saitamas at the end of the game or recycle my Kings when they are defeated. And on to the Saitamas. We do run 4 copies of the 15 one action. The reason I wanted this at 4 is because it does only require 1 action to play. And this card has the effect if it blocks, go back to your hand. It cannot be removed from your field. And also it has damage 7. But also if this card is sidelined from the deck, you get to draw a card. So again, and then also if it is hit in the life, you get to draw a card. So again, this card gets milled off or it gets hit in the life. I'm able to draw a card. And then again, I like having the 1 cost action to play this card because again, it's a 10,000 body and it's threatening damage 7. So again, having this one to play out easier is definitely, in my opinion, a good choice. And then we only have 3 copies of the two cost action Saitama. And that is, it has impact 3, damage 7. And when attacking, you can go ahead and sideline one of your opponent's characters on the front line. The also card is blocked. If uses it to block, it goes back to the hand. And again, both of these Saitamas are reduced by 1 for each card into your sideline. That's by 5. Now on to our event cards. We do have 4 copies of King Engine. King Engine is a very good card because again, it's to me one of the only event cards that does not technically require a character's name. If you play this card, you have 5. If you have a card that has 5,000 BP, you pop a card on your opponent's field that's 5,000 or less. But then if you do have King out, you're able to give one of your cards an extra energy for that turn. So again, this is just a great card to play and just get rid of things. And then combine it with the 3 cost King. I say essentially you have 8 final triggers 8 special triggers in your deck. And I feel like that alone is very, very powerful. And last but not least, we do have 4 copies of our AP Restandard, which is very standard, which is also our final trigger. And that is the deck. Again, like the whole purpose of the deck is to use cards very early, like King, use Genos to get cards milled out, get your sideline very pumped up. I always say once you get to at least 20 cards, you're pretty much good to go with playing out your Saitamas. And again, just threatening your opponent where, again, if it touches them just 1 time, it's over. The game is over. Then you have your other Saitama, the 2 action one. When either they block something to sustain that 7 damage, they're taking 3, and then him able to pop a card is very good. And again, that's why I say, again, I like the 1 cost one. Because again, perfect world, you are able to raid into King, discard a Saitama, you can pop something, and then you can go into King Engine, pop something else. Again, just lower their field out, and there's attacks something's going to get destroyed. Or again, even if you're able to do a combination of these cards, which is also very, very good, where you can raid into King, pop something, go ahead and play King Engine, pop something else, go ahead and play It's All About Me, restand 2 action points, play the Saitama, attack, pop something else, and now you're damaging either game or you're threatening to do 3 more because they'll block it. Again, I feel like these combination of cards are very, very good, especially for the end game, which again is to clear out your opponent's board late game or to ramp into your Saitamas early where they don't really have a good field to be able to just blow through them and hit them with the 1 punch. But this has been Ryotin. Again, these videos are going to come out at least twice a week or every week, getting everybody hyped up for Nationals. I know I will be at Gen Con, and I cannot wait to play No idea what deck I'm going to play yet, but again, I feel like Green Saitama is a deck that you should either prepare for or you should run. Let me know in the comment section down below, and you made it to the end of the video, hit that subscribe button. I really do enjoy it. Until next time, this is Ryotin.